For many, the horse racing calendar starts at Goodwood, and celebrating some of the finer things in life is the Festival of Food and Racing, which has a selection of some of the region's best local tipples and treats. And for gin lovers, the Rare Brands tent was the place to be.
We're from the Isle of Wight distillery, which is based just outside Ryde. We're here for the 3 days of the festival, promoting island gins. When the craft distillery industry really took off, it showed that gin can be an eminently drinkable drink, rather than, as you say, mother's ruin. It's the start of a spirit revolution in the licensed trade, I think. Everywhere we go, everybody knows about the Isle of Wight, and it's more often than not because they used to go there as a child, or they've been there for the odd sailing regatta. But promoting it with its own homegrown distillery, and you can talk about the island and the beaches and everything else, it means an awful lot. So to come to a place where they're prepared to pay for quality rather than quantity is important for us. And it's just general exposure.
Alongside talks and cooking demos is the farmers' market, where the focus was on artisan produce and a real delight for those with a sweet tooth.
A mallowsmith is like a blacksmith, but makes marshmallows. So it's a lot of heat, a lot of sweat, big hairy man, but I'm making marshmallows, not horseshoes. So we have local gins, Pims, Baileys, anything that you can flavour the water with when you make a marshmallow, you can have any flavour. We've done smoky bacon and maple syrup, which is amazing. We've got a very close relationship with Chilled Grove Gin, and you'll find that as your mouth melts the sugar in the mallow, you get the real flavour coming through. It all started when we went camping. I really wanted marshmallows toasted on fire, and all I could find were small pink packing peanuts masquerading as marshmallows. So investigated, found that you could flavour it with anything, and a gin marshmallow was born. Local is what we're all about. I don't drive, I have my own delivery bicycle. We like to promote local companies because everywhere just seems to be a brand, and a multinational brand, and we want local honest people making local honest food.
But if savoury is more your thing, then a selection of local producers were on hand to satisfy your cravings. Or did you fancy something a little more exotic?
We're finding it's going really well, actually. We're doing quite a tender version of biltong, so we only use a really tender cut, and we're finding people are loving it. Beef jerky is cooked and tends to be sweetened, and it tends to be much tougher, where ours is really tender. Ours is more like charcuterie, and it's really tender, and we've got a sort of subtle flavours, so you still get the flavour of the beef coming through. So we take a silver side and we take a fillet out of that called a salmon eye fillet, which is just really tender, has no gristles or fats in it, so it's very consistent. We then marinate it in vinegar to sort of sterilise it, and then we add spices to it. We hang it in a controlled environment with a controlled temperature and airflow, and then with some of the flavours at the end we just add a little bit more to it just to give it a little bit more interest, really.
And so even if your horse doesn't come in, the food tent is always going to be a safe bet. Richard Stringer, That's TV.